Hi Aquarius, welcome to your reading for July 2022. This will be for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. You may have planets in the sign of Aquarius. You can certainly be in love with an Aquarius, or you're just checking on their energy. So whatever brought you, I say welcome. Some of you are intuitively guided to the reading. You may not have Aquarius. More and more, I feel like of my subscribers, you just kind of feel when a reading's for you, even if it's not your sign. That could certainly mean that you do have planets in Aquarius you just don't know about, or your guides are actively guiding you. So, whatever brought you, welcome. Let's get into your reading. We're going to use 3 different decks. We're going to start with our Mother Mary Oracle deck, get some words of wisdom. Then we will use the Tarot of Dreams, and we will use the Angel Tarot as our clarifiers, if needed. Well, we always use them anyway. If nothing else, it'll take us a level deeper. So, let's go ahead and get into your reading. Everything is pre-shuffled, but I'm going to give it a shuffle or 2 right now. Just while I have you here. Remember, you're going to be in Cancer's energy. It's an emotional energy, right? It's about deep feelings. I feel like for this month, for you, it's like the final push of anything that wasn't serving you, that maybe you haven't eliminated. This may be the time. Okay, let's begin. Definitely feel this is also the energy of strengthening relationships, but the beginning of the month might have it a little choppy. We have Father. My true Father is a God in heaven who shines healing light upon me, my birth father, and our relationship. Father. Sometimes I feel like we can look back at our mother, at our father, and we can see what characteristics we take forward with us. You know what I mean? Like, you grow up and you're like, I'll never be like that. And then you find yourself exactly like that. So it can just be the realization of that too. Also, I feel like there may be cutting of ties. Now, I don't mean in relationships. I mean in maybe for unstored forgiveness. There may be some cutting of ties, which means there's clarity around it. Okay, we'll leave it there. We'll read it at the end. I feel like that's where the words are most profound. And let's get into the tarot portion. Again, we're using the Tarot of Dreams. I'll link everything. I can't link all the cards because they just don't have all the tarot cards yet. But I'll link what I can. Alright, let's give him a cut. And I am going to shuffle for your cards. Remember, time is fluid. If this sounds like you're reading, but you need more clarity, I would definitely check out the bonus readings that I did, and your monthly, like for June. You know what I mean? Like, you want to know, because I feel like they move along each month. Okay, well, we open with the 10 of Pentacles. I'm not going to get too excited yet, but that's beautiful energy. It's an energy of abundance. It's an energy of setting down roots. We have Faith, card of Taurus. Interesting, it's a 5 next to a 10. It kind of reminds me, not to bring politics into it, but almost like, because I feel like there's something that needs to be cut. And I feel like it's energetic, like an energetic tie that needs to be cut. I feel like it could relate to a father. It could relate to like how you grew up and what you were taught. And now it's like you're finding your own way, you're finding your own voice, you're finding your own truth. You know, it reminds me of like me growing up and being raised, you know, a certain way, like within the church, and then growing up and forming my own opinions. Faith asks you to question your faith system, right? Is it yours? Is it theirs? We have judgment. Judgment. This is your spiritual team calling you to the present moment. And when that happens, it means there's something coming, right? There's some type of blessing coming. Judgment talks about a rebirth and allowing yourself to have that rebirth. Interesting that it's right next to faith. And then we have the Ace of Swords. It's like you're hearing some type of truth, whether it be a spiritual truth or whether it be, you know, truth within this lifetime. You know, it definitely feels the energy of like your guides are definitely, let me bring this lid down. Your guides are definitely, feels like they're guiding you. Maybe about your home, maybe about what's happening within a home. Again, the Ten of Pentacles is a very strong, sturdy, stable type of energy. It talks about being able to put down roots. Now, it can, again, talk about an earlier time, right? When you're growing up, that type of home. And again, like finding now my own belief system. And I feel like even more than that, it's like your guides are being very proactive in your life, right? They're calling you to the present moment because there's some type of rebirth that wants to happen, right? It's probably due. It's probably your soul's intention. And I feel like through this Ace of Swords is how it's coming about. Interesting. All right, let's keep going. We have the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles. I feel like there's something going on in your household. Look at this. We have the Ace of Pentacles. It's almost like if I was, you know, close to losing a home, like the universe is responding and giving me a way not to lose it. This Ace of Pentacles is what feels like a blessing that's coming into your physical world to help enhance it in some way. It's coming under faith. So it's like I got to believe it. I've got to know it, right? You have two aces already. We have the King of Pentacles. Can be a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Doesn't have to be. We have the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords. We have the World. And with the World, we have the Wheel. Wow. So it makes sense that judgment would be here, right? Because again, your spiritual team calling you to the present moment because there's a rebirth preparing to open in your life. You know, are you the cause of it? Well, I feel like this is something you've been praying for. And I do. I feel like you've been praying for something and I feel like it's being answered twice, you know, doubly answered. That doesn't even make sense. I do want to point out this Ace of Swords over the Ten of Swords, though, because I feel like what this is saying is this Ten of Swords must have existed, right? With the Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords. Opening card, Ten of Pentacles. Closing card, Ten of Swords. Opposite energies. Really opposite energy. And I feel like the Ace of Swords is giving you the ability to look at those 10 swords and see it for what it truly is. See those swords, those daggers in your back for what they truly are. King of Pentacles would tell me that this is meant to be looked at as a big picture. Maybe that means I need to leave the emotions out of it as I reflect upon, these 10 swords. That means that, dagger after dagger after dagger after dagger. Well, I want this chapter to end. Do I not? Yes, I do. And that's what Judgment is saying. Here is an opportunity. Not just that, but look at this. What's it heading you towards? Wow. The world, first of all. Judgment saying, I need you here in the present moment because a rebirth is about to happen. The world says, here is the next chapter. There is a next chapter that's ready to begin. The world chapter is a beautiful chapter because I feel in the world chapter is when you're closest to God, closest to your God, let's say. It's when your spirituality and your humanness are like hand in hand. Something new is beginning and it's on your will. It's on your destiny. Okay, let's look at the bottom of the deck. Well, we have the Fool. The Fool. So, the Fool at the bottom of the deck. The Fool is about taking a chance, right? The Fool is saying, I don't carry my past with me as weight. I carry it only as knowledge, as experience, as how I overcome. The Fool is free and clear energy. I feel like maybe for some, there may be some unstored forgiveness, maybe towards your father. Because I feel like this Ten of Swords, first of all, it's from other people, no doubt, right? It is from other people. But in the same breath, the Ten of Swords says, you stay too long. You took too much. You took it on what doesn't belong to you. And what I mean by that is, let's say, and I'm just using the father as example, but let's say this is someone who is very harsh with their communication. Can, like, their words feel like daggers in your soul type thing. But what we're forgetting is there's a human part to this person over here, right? And that humanness has not lived up to the spiritual aspects. But that doesn't mean you have to then live that way, because I feel like that's what it's saying, like, okay, so this is the way I've lived, this is the reason. This means that, of course it feels like your belief system shaken up. I feel like this is a mighty change, but I feel like it brings about mighty results. I don't know why I'm using the word mighty, but I just feel that. And let's not forget the World and the Wheel. Okay. Well, let's bring these up. And let's bring in the Angel Tarot and let's go a level deeper. Give him one more. Pre-shuffled. Let's give him a cut. And let's begin. I just feel like there's something going on in the home, or there was something going on in the home that really, like it was meant to bring you, how do we say this? Like, I feel like the home was supposed to be this way, but I don't feel like it was. I feel like someone feels like they were out of control in some manner, and I feel like it's more in their communication. I don't know why I'm repeating this, other than it's very clear to me that this message is saying, don't bring the hardships of your past into your present, because then if you bring them to your present, then you're also bringing them to your future. Ties need cut. And they do feel more energetic now. It could be physical, right? The Fool is you taking a chance on something, on someone, on life, that type of energy. The Fool doesn't really have fear. But nonetheless, this Ace of Pentacles seems to show up to help you change what is not working. Not only change what's not working, but then allow you, or it just naturally moves you into the next cycle, which feels very abundant. All right. We have, look at this, we have the Ten of Cups coming over the Ten of Pentacles. We have the King of Swords coming over the Hierophant. King of Swords can be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Can be you. Can be another Aquarius. Coming over Faith. We have, look at this, we have the Queen of Swords. So now we have the King and the Queen side by side. The Queen is coming over Judgment. The King is coming over Faith. And look at this, then we have the Tower. Wow. I feel like this Queen and King I feel like that this Queen and King have sometime in their life gone through the energy of this Tower. The Queen is pointing right at the Tower. The King is not. It's like this King and Queen had the Ten of Pentacles, had the Ten of Cups, and then the Tower. Something shakes up this relationship. However, if this is from the past, which I do feel like it is, I feel like this is talking about communication that may be coming in. Now, the King is over Faith. And the Queen, I feel like, maybe has not yet overcome the energy of the Tower. But yet, in the same breath, I feel like it's time, like she's meant to. Now, if this King is someone of your past who was like a narcissist, this is not, or a Queen, this is not that, right? Because my guides would never tell you or suggest that we take anyone back that has been abusive in that way. Now, there's still the energy of being human though, and I feel like, I almost feel like this King has found his faith. I feel like this King is going to give this Queen a ring, a call, a text. Her back is still to him. I have to tell you, though, I feel like it's temporary. You know what I mean? Because I feel like the Queen is still hanging on to the Tower, but she's coming over judgment, which is her spiritual team saying it's time to let something go, right? Allow this rebirth to take place. And she's like, well, but there was a tower. It felt destructive. You know, what's under it? That Ten of Swords. So I can kind of understand why she's hesitant. I feel like she's having a discussion with her guides. We have the Five of Pentacles. We have Justice. Card of Libra. You know, I'm like, you know, how did I open this reading? I opened this reading speaking about the opportunity to heal relationships. Now, if they're not, you know, if they're no longer, what's the word I want to use, doable, or if, you know, you're no longer in love with someone, or whatever it is, it's like, I don't know, I don't feel like it's them. Justice can talk about the cutting of ties, right? The cutting of ties. And then we have the Hangman. But it's like, whoa, wait a minute. Slow down, you move too fast. Don't you want the time to last? Alright. The Queen is putting a hold on the whole thing. If I'm the Queen, I'm thinking to myself, if this is something I want in my life again, I need to have clarity. I feel like the Queen is being advised by her spiritual team to look at, let's just say this is the last chapter, or this was a major chapter in one's life, to look at it from above. And that means take the emotions out of it. Now, perhaps someone, maybe it was the king, maybe it was the queen, has carried forward the energy of a father who maybe during their childhood was not the best example. It feels like the queen more than anyone is like, you know, is in the energy of uncertainty. I feel like this king wants another chance. Five of Pentacles tells me that this Ten of Cups and this Ten of Pentacles probably ended. May have ended in divorce. Or it may be what two people are thinking about. Doesn't have to be divorce. It can be someone that I have decided to cut ties with. Or I did cut ties with. But in the same breath, this king feels like, it feels like both the king and the queen are part of the next chapter. They're part of the next chapter. But I feel like none to the queen is ready. Six of Cups. Interesting. Well, this kind of tells us who the king and queen are, right? This is someone that I used to know. Someone that, even if I have tough memories, right, because there's a tower, I still have treasured memories of this person. They of me. Remembering the good times. You know, I feel like the King of Pentacles, yes, it can be a person, but I feel like his energy is really important in this reading because his specialty really is looking at the big picture. And it's almost like until I can look at it from the big picture, I can't see, like, maybe if this couple wants to come back together, and let's say the Ten of Swords were part of that relationship that ultimately caused the Tower. Again, I have to go back to this father energy, and it's almost like it's because of that energy that this situation maybe didn't work out. So I don't know if it's the king or the queen, but I feel like someone has to have that realization of, I'm pulling energy forward with me that really doesn't have a place. You know, you had one of your readings, it was either your June monthly or your bonus for June, where I felt like someone was going to call you. And I feel like now we're moving forward and we're closer and closer and closer to it. We have the Eight of Swords. Now, I don't love seeing that. Eight of Swords is really a self-created prison. It's where I'm like keeping myself from the world. You know, this is, yet it's coming over the World card, which is interesting because this is the next chapter. And here, I just feel like this is fear about starting this next chapter. Even though it's on your wheel, to me means it's just part of your soul's request. You know, I don't feel a lot of souls come here and say, give me the easy life. No, we came here to truly learn and expand our souls. And sometimes that can only come with difficult lessons. I know. This is an 8 though. This says, give yourself a new beginning. Give yourself a fresh start. You know, if someone's coming back around and they're not where they need to be, then you'll know that very quickly, right? But with the Eight of Swords, it says that, you know, I feel like someone's not giving this a chance. Now, I get it, but at the same time, I feel like the King of Pentacles is saying, if I really reflect upon this, maybe I can see that part of our problems were due to other people's influences, whether that influence lives in my head or in my heart or next door. Eight of Swords says you're creating yourself a prison here. You're holding yourself back from the world. But I do feel like you break free from that, because next is the Three of Wands. And it's a different way of looking at the world. Eight of Swords, I'm kind of hiding from the world. Three of Wands, I'm proactive in the world. I'm proactive. I'm taking a chance. I'm moving into it. I'm going to move into it, and I'm going to look at it with all that can be. I'm not going to think about all that can go wrong. I'm going to think about all that can go right. We have the Magician, the Manifester. We have the Five of Swords. And then we have the Two of Wands. Sorry, it's hard to see there's a reflection on the card. So we have the Two of Wands. Okay, let's look at this first. The Eight of Swords with the Five of Swords coming over it. Makes complete sense. Five of Swords talks about the toxicity around me, in my life, in my thoughts, other people. This is the realization of it. You know, it's almost like I have to look at it or I don't. And I feel like if I don't, then I have the Eight of Swords, right? I'm trying to protect myself from the unknown. But really what I'm doing is stopping these blessings. And then you have the 2 and the 3 of Wands. This would be more of the Fool's energy. This would be more of, I feel like what this is saying is, I do feel like someone does receive clarity. Whether it be the King or the Queen, or they both go through this. I feel like what it's saying, justice, you know, it can represent the cutting of the ties between these two. It can represent a potential of a divorce, but I feel like the Hangman is kind of like, you know, like, don't move too quickly. Again, I'm not talking about anybody who's abusive, narcissistic. That you move away from, right? That, don't waste your time trying to change it. Just live your life, right? 2 of Wands to the 3 of Wands, that's exactly what you're doing. So I do feel like this Queen is going to have a change of heart. I feel like the Magician is important in this reading because the Magician is the manifester. The Magician with the Fool tells me that the Magician is also one of our master teachers, and I feel spiritually, Judgment is almost like sending the Magician in. The Magician teaches the Fool that there's nothing to fear, to use your intuition. It talks about this next journey, that you already possess the tools that you need to be successful, right? It doesn't promise you a rose garden, but it does say that there is great potential moving forward. Not that you can't have a rose garden, but no one's promised that, right? These seeds that come in, we can take them and we can expand them and we can allow them to blossom, or we can just forget about them and let them dry up and die. Okay. I think what I want to do is I just want to look at this Queen. Actually, I want to pick this up. And I want to look at this Queen and this King. And let's center them. Let's put them in the middle of the spread. And I want more clarity moving forward on this Queen and King. Ace of Swords again. Page of Cups. And then the Nine of Swords. It's this Queen who's carrying, listen, she may have every reason, or had every reason, but I feel like it's the Queen who, it's almost like I feel like the King is sure about the Queen, but the Queen not so much, with reason, right? There does seem to be a tower that happened. You know, it's like we started the reading with the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles, but then we got the 5 of Pentacles. So I feel like, you know, we went from the 10 to the 5. So I do feel like this is talking about potentially two people who split. Whether it was a marriage or whether, you know, it doesn't even matter. It's just two people, I feel like, who did love each other. Probably, I mean, still love each other. But that doesn't mean that in my head it will be easy, right? And that's what this Queen is attached to this Nine of Swords. First of all, that Nine of Swords is telling the Queen that a lot of this worry you're carrying around is unnecessary. It's unnecessary. Why? Well, because your spiritual team is so strong in this reading, that's who you want to trust. Trust the signs. Take off the blindfolds, right? That way you'll see them. Listen, even if you don't see them, you'll feel them. Then it's going to be up to you to say yay or nay. I feel like this queen, I feel like what happened to her in her life has kind of robbed her of her self-esteem, of the belief in herself. I feel like she, there's two ways I could handle that. I could look at it to see why, what was causing it. Is it other people's opinions of me that really, don't hold much merit? Am I still carrying old energy around? Nine of Swords says, get rid of this, right? Get rid of it. It's unnecessary. Learning to love oneself again. And listen, when I say learning to love oneself again, that means you're learning to appreciate your life and allowing yourself opportunities. Listen, I do feel like this king is going to call. It may be the other way around, but I do feel like there's going to be a phone call. There's going to be someone's reaching out to communicate. First of all, we go from the 10 to the 9, so I feel like the queen, if she's the one that's being contacted, I do feel like, it's interesting because immediately I see a little, like, the angst go down a little bit. Okay, I'm not going to leave it on the 9 of Swords, so tell me more. Tell me more, tell me more. Well, hello, look what showed back up. The 10 of Pentacles. Wow. And let's take one more. You had it, you lost it, here it is again. Maybe that's what we think. We can only have the 10 of Cups or the 10 of Pentacles once in our life, but that's not true. Many times, you can have great rises and great falls. It's what we do with that energy. Okay, way too many. I'm going to stop talking. And remember, now we're just really looking at this king and queen. We have the 10 of Swords. How interesting. The 10 of Cups, right? Or the 10 of Pentacles. And now the 10 of Swords. 10 of Swords coming under that Page of Cups, though. This is what someone's trying to heal from. No doubt. We have, well, there you go. The Hermit. That's really a deep reflection over life. It's asking the big questions and receiving the big answers. Hermit, I'm really looking for the light. Right? I've been walking in the dark for too long. Now I want the light. Spiritual light. I feel like you find it. This is true reflection over these 10 swords. Also card of Hermit, by the way. Virgo, which, this energy with the 9 of Swords would make sense with the Virgo because the Virgo can overthink. And then we have the 6 of Swords. Now, I don't feel like this is someone moving away. I don't feel like this is like the queen moving away from the king. I feel like this is true realization, right? Because in the 6 of Swords, what we're going to remember, we already had the 5 of Swords, and that's where we were seeing what's toxic. Now, I have to say, for this queen, I feel like, even though she has every reason, I definitely feel like the holding on to old toxic energy, and, this is going to set her free. Whether she says yes or no to this king, this is going to set her free if she's able to truly reflect upon it. Look for the patterns. What patterns are in my life? What patterns can I cut? Like, what keeps following me and why? So Six of Swords to me is a great energy. I feel like it's a little soothing for the Queen too, because I feel like what it's saying is, you know, when you move within the Six of Swords, yes, it's, you know, you're still moving in choppy waters, but it's the promise of calmer waters, right? It's like, when I'm able, like, not everything is easy to do in life, but sometimes the hardest things to do give us the greatest results. I feel like the Queen is moving out of this energy of living in her head, right? Of carrying the tower, of carrying other people's words. I feel like she's freeing herself. I feel like the King has freed himself. And I feel like this King, I almost feel like this King doesn't feel complete without this Queen. I feel like, listen, there may be 2 phone calls. Maybe one's ignored, and the second one I decide to pick up. I'm speaking as the Queen. Listen, I don't feel like this is anything that needs to move quickly, and I feel like that's why we had the 2 of Wands and the 3 of Wands. 2 of Wands, there is the gate, right? There it stands before me. I love that you're moving into the Wands family, because that's a very passionate time for you. You know, and Aquarius, I feel much like Virgo, we want to be careful that we don't overthink opportunities that show themselves. Now, here it feels like it's going to be the King. And I don't know which one you are, but I feel like you do. You do. And it's interesting because the Queen is coming over Judgment. So even though the Queen has every reason to, like, be hesitant, Judgment is saying to the Queen, it's time to give yourself a rebirth. It's time to allow a new chapter, right? And why not? Because this old chapter looks heavy and hard. But nonetheless, it has to be looked at. I feel like it has to be looked at. Why? Because I feel like, again, other people's words and that way, like, have stuck with you, and I don't feel like there's merit for them. So it's unnecessary worry and weight that this Queen carries. I feel like they're coming back together. Alright, I'm just going to take one more shuffle and see if anything else wants to come out. I feel like if you're the King and you're interested in this Queen, listen, it may take you a little time, right? It may take 2 phone calls. It just may. Alright, one more. See if anything wants to come out. The Lovers. Look at that. The Lovers. First of all, can be a card of Gemini. Can be a head over heart decision. That's the meaning of the card. But it's also the chemistry. We're in the year of the Lovers. I do feel like a lot of people are coming together in this year. Most of it unexpected. You know, you can't plan love. The Lovers. The Hierophant. The 9 of Wands. That does not kill me, makes me stronger. And then, hello, Ace of Cups. I just felt like this reading wasn't quite over yet. what can I say? Ace of Cups, unconditional love. Unconditional love. Sometimes we're not perfect. That doesn't mean I stop loving someone. Again, a reminder, if this person is a narcissist, if they're abusive, it's not them. This is someone who feels like they're definitely coming in the light. The Lovers and the Ace of Cups mirroring each other. Nine of Wands coming under this Queen. You know, it's another 9. But I love this 9 because this talks about, yes, it's been difficult, it's been hard, but what have you truly gained if you're able to truly reflect over these pinnacles in your life? Spiritual muscles, spiritual clarity. This tells you don't give up. Don't give up yourself. Don't give up on love. Doesn't mean you have to take someone back. You don't have to, but it's saying don't harden your heart to love. I feel like this is coming from the light. I mean, come on. We're only looking at the Queen and King, and we have the Lovers and the Ace of Cards. Or the Ace of Cards, the Ace of Cups. Look at that. This Queen and King came out side by side for a reason. And I feel like now we know why. Alright, let's read Father. Because I definitely feel like it's part of this reading. Father. This card comes to you because your question is rooted in your relationship with your father. Even though this connection may not be immediately understood, this card acknowledges the link. Most likely, old emotions concerning your father are affecting your present moment. If a memory surfaces as you read this, trust this pathway to leading you to healing. Recalling a painful memory isn't pleasant, but is an important step towards releasing negative patterns. If you have old, heavy-hearted feelings about Dad, take a moment now to say, God and Mother Mary, thank you for helping me heal and release, name the emotion or situation, with my father so that he and I can be free. I feel like the Queen is freeing herself. I love you guys. I'm going to leave it there. I don't know how it gets any better, but I do feel the hesitation at the same time. I feel like that'll be worked through. Of course, everything is always your choice, but it's time for the next chapter. Here it is, and it's on your will. And the Magician is here also. So sometimes it's like our higher self manifesting what our lower self doesn't think it can handle, but our higher self knows that it can, right? We've been there, done that. Maybe not in this lifetime, but in a previous. The Lovers in the Ace of Cups are with this couple. So are their spiritual team. I feel like if I worry about this King coming in, this King seems to have his face system in check. If not, you'll know it. You'll see it. You'll feel it. Right? But that's why you don't want to have a blindfold on. That's how you live. Don't put blindfolds on. Like, go step by step. And if there isn't love, then this isn't probably that person, because I feel like the unconditional love means it will always be there. Maybe it has always been there. Maybe lifetimes. Maybe for eternity. Who knows? But this feels super strong, and this feels like the right time. The right time. I love you guys. I thank you for all that you do for me. Your donations to help keep me alive on the channel and in life. Your comments. Thank you for sharing the videos. I just trust that they'll reach whoever they're meant to reach. Just thank you for everything. Truly, truly, I'm so grateful for you. I love you guys, and I will see you next time at our table. Bye-bye.